Selling on Amazon is changing, and if you end up relying on a bunch of old, outdated strategies from old videos on YouTube, you could put yourself at risk of failure. Amazon is now the biggest retailer in the world, and a growing percentage of those sales are coming from individual sellers like you and me. But succeeding in a more competitive environment means that you need to have all the most up-to-date tactics and strategies in order to make sure that you're putting your best foot forward. So in this video, I'll be going over 5 of the most important Amazon FBA trends that I've been noticing this year. And I'll also be going over how you can best position yourself to take advantage of those trends. So by the end of this video, you'll have a good idea of how selling on Amazon is changing in 2021 and how you can totally take advantage. If you're new to this channel, my name's Michael and I'm a 6-figure-a-year Amazon FBA seller who started selling products just last year. It's really my goal with this channel to provide as much value as I personally can so that you can take those tips and put it directly into your Amazon business. So let's get into trend number 1. Trend number 1 is that Amazon Prime is changing buyer psychology. The average Amazon Prime member spends $1.4 thousand per year on Amazon. Now compare that to a non-Prime member. Those people spend roughly $600 per year. So that means that Prime members are spending on average over twice as much as non-Prime members on Amazon. And if you think about it, it's not all that surprising. Prime is a great product and people who are Prime members, generally speaking, are pretty loyal Amazon customers, so naturally they're going to be spending more. But if you approach this from a buyer psychology perspective, there's something else going on here that's pretty interesting. With an annual fee of $120 per year, Amazon Prime is not a cheap membership. And let's just say you're already a Prime member and you're spending that $120 per year, chances are you're gonna want to get your money's worth. So in a weird way, the more someone shops on Amazon with a Prime membership, the more they're getting for that membership subscription. And on top of that, Amazon Prime is only getting bigger and more popular every year. Just this month, Amazon reported over 140 million paying Prime subscribers. So as the number of Prime subscribers keeps growing, you can count on buyer psychology changing slightly, which should help you out when selling on Amazon. So make sure you ride this wave and pay attention to these bigger macro trends that could impact your Amazon business. Trend number 2 is the death of extreme discounts and product giveaways at launch. Now there are a ton of Amazon FBA videos on YouTube with people recommending you put your products on sale for 75% off or giving away units every single day to help increase your rank on Amazon. I personally tried this last year and it didn't work for me, so pay attention if you're thinking about doing something like this. For context, when you sell on Amazon, your product ranking is really important. When you type something in on the search results, whatever pops up first is going to be something that the customer is more likely to purchase. So in order to properly launch your product, a lot of people would recommend trying to boost that ranking as high as possible by selling units or giving away units to make it look like you're selling a lot. And Amazon is always updating their algorithms to close off these loopholes and eliminate these exploits. So make sure that when you're getting your information, you're getting it from an up-to-date and relevant source. So I'd recommend avoiding any product giveaway programs, especially at launch. These things, while they might offer short-term productivity, will ultimately flag your listing in Amazon's eyes, and I think that's a risk you don't want to take. One of the worst things that could happen is paying for this launch service just to find that it's a loophole that was patched immediately by Amazon and you just wasted a bunch of money. If your goal is to launch your product and to increase your rank as quickly as possible, rather than giveaways, I'd recommend having a pay-per-click advertising campaign at launch instead. Not only will PPC spend give you important keyword data that you can use to improve and optimize your listing later, it also helps you avoid needing to sacrifice your profits at the very beginning of your Amazon journey. Trend number 3 is Chinese manufacturers listing directly on Amazon. Now, it's no secret that Chinese suppliers are starting to list their own products on Amazon. And if you think about it from their perspective, it kind of makes sense. If you're a manufacturer and people in the US are purchasing products from you just to go and sell it for a higher price on Amazon, why wouldn't you do that yourself? Looking for easier profits, a lot of suppliers would aim to eliminate the middleman and hope to just list directly on the Amazon platform to increase their margin. While it is a bummer to compete against some of these big suppliers who can afford to price their goods a lot cheaper than you, what I found is that a lot of these overseas suppliers have trouble creating a trustworthy and premium brand. And this is where the opportunity comes in for independent sellers like you and me who are a little bit more plugged into American culture, Western culture, and popular brands these days. So basically what this means is that branding and listing are going to be that much more important as a differentiating factor between your listing and some of these overseas suppliers' listings. So with this in mind, my recommendation is to spend a little bit more time on your branding, on your logos, and listing. This is an opportunity to come across as a way more premium and luxury brand relative to the competition, and this is something that you're uniquely in the position to do well. And if you're interested in learning about some of the most powerful Amazon listing tips, I'll link a video in the description down below. Trend number 4 is the importance of differentiating features on your product. Putting in months of effort and hard work into launching your product just to find that once you launch it, your niche is already flooded with copycats and lookalikes is a really stressful experience that no one should have to experience. With more people looking to make money online, the chances of somebody having a similar product idea to you in the first place is pretty high. And this is where we get into differentiating your product. By having a unique design or a specific feature on your product that no one else is doing, you, in a way, create a niche within a niche. Creating a niche within a niche is a great way to stand out from the crowd because as a customer who's looking for that specific feature, the pool is going to be a lot more limited. So my recommendation is once you have a product idea, to spend some time thinking about the way that you use the product, the way it looks, and how it could be better. In practice, when you first reach out to your supplier, it's a good best practice to ask them if they're able to accommodate for certain custom features or design changes. Something I will caution you about is when you're first reaching out to suppliers, try not to be too specific. Because this is your differentiating feature that no one else has at the moment, this is your secret formula. The more suppliers know about your custom adjustments, the higher the likelihood is that they'll be selling those exact adjustments to your competitors. Only offer suppliers details when you've already vetted that they're someone that you can trust and someone that you're willing to work with. So try not to show all of your cards right away because with a custom feature, you'll have leverage in the future. Now, if you're finding value in this video and this content, please hit that like button down below and smash the subscribe button for more videos with actionable tips just like this one. Trend number 5 is more rules around communicating with your customer. Selling on Amazon's platform means that you need to abide by all of Amazon's terms of service or you risk losing your seller privileges. And just a few months ago in late 2020, Amazon released new guidelines around how sellers can communicate with their customers. Now, historically, sellers had previously had a little bit more leeway in messaging customers, asking for reviews, and potentially offering discounts for the future. But this is changing over time. And due to some of these changes, reaching out to your customers to get ahead of product issues or get ahead of negative feedback is getting a little bit harder. So with these new rules in place, my recommendation is to focus a bit more on your product insert to connect with your customer. If you're unfamiliar with product inserts, when you purchase a product on Amazon and you open the box, a lot of times you'll receive a little card with some information and like a thank you for your purchase. Product inserts are an easy and cheap way to get in front of your customer with a nice message and help create that connection between company and customer. I personally use product inserts to introduce myself and my company, as well as opening that door for any customer feedback or communication. And something I'm sure you've seen before is that some sellers will even put discount codes on their product inserts for future purchases. This is technically against Amazon's terms of service, but if you think about it from the perspective of Amazon, it's going to be a lot harder to look through every single product insert than it is to scan buyer messages on email, for example. Product inserts are also a great way to be creative and delight your customers in new creative ways. I've even seen some inserts with Sudoku puzzles and crossword puzzles just to have a little bit of fun. And while I don't necessarily recommend that, I think it's a great way to be creative and show some personality in ways that you otherwise couldn't in your product listing. So all in all, product inserts are another great way to deepen that connection that you have with your customer and also just come across as a more human and personal brand. So there you go. Those are my 5 biggest Amazon FBA trends that I've been noticing this year. And have you noticed any trends that other people should keep their eye on? Leave those in the comments below. And if you found value in this video, please hit that subscribe button down below for more videos just like this one. Thank you.